For decades, the modern global economy operated on a quiet assumption. We trusted that the physical supply chains holding the world together, the invisible geographic threads carrying our energy, food, and technology, would simply never break. That assumption collapsed on February 28, 2026. A joint U.S.-Israeli decapitation strike targeting Iranian leadership assassinated Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. 4 days later, Iran retaliated, completely blockading the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow maritime bottleneck just 21 miles wide. As the flow of physical oil abruptly stopped, Brent crude prices surged, spiking vertically past $120 a barrel. Financial panic spread across time zones. Massive stock market declines in South Korea triggered trading curbs, and within hours, emergency circuit breakers halted trading in the United States. Analysts realized that closing those 21 miles of water had triggered a simultaneous global breakdown, affecting everything from fertilizer to microchips, the ignition of a true everything crisis. To understand the scale of the damage, you have to look at the raw volume of energy trapped behind the blockade. We're talking about 20% of the entire world's seaborne crude oil, along with massive volumes of liquefied natural gas, or LNG. Trapped in the Gulf, the state-owned energy giant Qatar Energy had to declare force majeure, a legal provision that frees a company from liability when extreme events prevent them from fulfilling their export contracts. That sudden disappearance of Qatari LNG hit Europe at the worst possible moment. Following a harsh winter, European gas storage levels sat at barely 30% capacity. Within days, benchmark gas prices nearly doubled. This supply shock brought a severe threat of stagflation, a destructive economic condition where industrial growth stalls while inflation rises. In response, the European Central Bank had to suddenly postpone planned interest rate cuts. The blockade weaponized European energy dependence, pushing major economies like Germany and Italy straight toward the brink of a technical recession. The Strait of Hormuz also carries a hidden cargo, critical raw materials that underpin sectors of the economy far removed from the local gas station. Take agriculture. Roughly 45% of the world's traded sulfur and 50% of global exports of urea, a key ingredient in nitrogen fertilizers, are generated in the Gulf. The blockade trapped nearly all of it. As a direct consequence, global fertilizer prices spiked by 40%. This instantly threatened crop yields for essential staples like wheat and rice right at the start of the Northern Hemisphere's spring planting season. Then there is the technology sector. As a byproduct of refining natural gas, Qatar produces about 35% of the world's supply of helium. Helium is irreplaceable. Its extreme thermal conductivity makes it the perfect cooling agent for manufacturing silicon wafers and operating medical imaging machines. When the blockade tripled the price of helium, it ground semiconductor supply chains to a halt. Severing a single maritime artery proved capable of simultaneously paralyzing the food we eat and the technology we rely on. While the maritime blockade choked global trade, onshore military strikes compounded the crisis for the Gulf states themselves. The region has a massive physical vulnerability: water. Countries like Kuwait and Qatar rely on highly exposed desalination plants for up to 99% of their drinking water. When strikes hit these facilities, a physical crisis escalated into a humanitarian one. For decades, the Gulf successfully sold itself as a wealthy, stable safe haven for global investments and expatriate talent. That image collided with a chaotic reality of canceled sporting events, frozen megaprojects, and an immediate exodus of foreign professionals. The conflict shattered the long-standing narrative of the Gulf as an invulnerable economic utopia. Global aviation corridors have been redrawn, and the energy shock has forced an industrial contraction across Europe that analysts expect to persist for years. Over many decades, we built a modern global economy that systematically traded its fundamental resilience for extreme, uncompromising efficiency. By routing the fundamental building blocks of modern civilization, our fuel, our food, and our technology, through a single 21-mile-wide stretch of water, humanity engineered a highly interconnected world that was always just one conflict away from systemic cardiac arrest.